Hello and welcome to another turn of Dominions 5. We're playing today as Solaria. And before I jump in here, I have seen the turn because I received a message from my disciple, my worthy disciple, last night after I had tried to go to bed, but when I had then woken up realizing I'd forgotten to set an alarm that said, "We need to prepare the Retarii." And I had no choice but to get back up and figure out what that meant. And unfortunately, we got problems. We'll go through all the battles, but we'll start with we're attacked by Agartha. So let's go ahead. They're going to bless up here. They got some Shard Guard. And I'm just casting Personal Luck. I think that's my guy, actually. He's unscripted. So these Shard Guard, 29 HP. They're size 3, 16 protection. The Bless is +4 attack, and then 2 Reinvig, a little bit of HP, and Reconstruction, which I don't think helps these guys. And then some resistances, which won't really matter too much for us at the moment. So 60 protection is not all that high. I mean, it's good, but it's not great. 13 defense isn't great either. 16 attack's pretty good, 14 strength, and they've got a huge glaive and a buckler, halberd cap. So, and then they've also got these statues, attentive statues, 3 hit points. Oh, this one's got he's weakened. And I guess they don't heal. These are resistant to stuff. They have a lot of protection. And they're going to go ahead and attack us. And all we have here is PD, and we had our guys who were building the fort and our temple. And unfortunately, spoiler alert, we are not going to keep those. Now, I stand by my decision not to put more PD on the tile, as I don't think almost any amount of PD we had was going to beat this, right? I think we have 0 casualties. Yeah. We were not going to succeed even if we had a bunch of PD here. Because our province defense is militia. Like if we had like knights or something, that'd be different. We also are attacked by Stis, those dastardly lizards, with a huge squad of slave warriors and then city guard. City guard are terrible. Slave warriors are a great unit, but they are a unit with weaknesses. So they've got 2 attacks. They're going to deal a bunch of damage. They're poison resistant. They're slaves, so they're cheap. This one lost an arm. Let's grab one that hasn't lost an arm. Okay, I was gonna say his stuff did look a little low. Yeah, they have a trident, not a fist or whatever that guy had without his arm. So deal a ton of damage, but 3 protection, no hat, no shield. So they are absolutely prone to archers. However, they're going to absolutely mulch the troops we do have here. I assume we didn't really kill one. We killed the one that we shot with our bow. Maybe they killed him somehow. I mean, we don't have any kills on our board here, so not sure what happened. We also have a couple other battles, and then we'll get into what this means sort of going forwards. We have Scasius with some Long Dead and some of his mercenaries. So this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. So that's a really low roll. He rolls 6d6, and he only got 12. So that's pretty garbage. And unfortunately, that garbage is gonna sort of continue the way this turn's going. Luckily, he does retreat successfully. Yis has problems as well. They've got Morvarks attacking into some of these cavalry. I think these are not where their problems start. Although arrows are kind of good against their glamour. But I don't think this is going to be the issue. I think he was fine here. But let's see. We'll just keep going down the list. We have another combat. Just us against militia, a couple heavy infantry, and some archers. Not much to talk about. We're going to go ahead and chop right through them and take this province. We did lose some stuff. This is, I think, the Yis problem. Nope, not this one either. So Morvarks against, more of the lizards. Now these, of course, are not the players' lizards. But even here, you know, they broke through, I can't click them fast enough. The glamour, although they don't appear to have done any damage. No problems there. That's the one we already watched. And then this, now we've got a problem. We've got some knights. Yes, there's like 5 or 6 of or Morbarks. And look at that. Look at the wall. The wall of Mind Blasters. Now we have plus MR in our Bless, but it is not enough. With this many Mind Blasters against these few knights, you know, we need chaff here to really support this. Yeah, even blessed up. It's just going to be too much. And then they get surrounded, and they still are getting Mind Blasted at points. And I don't know if anybody's getting away here. I don't think they are. They just about run them out of ammo too, which is a shame. So, we got problems. We're under attack by large stack of slave warriors here. We're under attack by Agartha here. And we're under attack by Rillier here. So, here's what we're gonna try and do about it. I believe Yis is planning on taking some troops to hit here, cut them off, and then destroy their temple as a bit of a punitive measure. I cannot help him deal with these Illithids at all. He's going to have to recruit and get some troops there. It's going to be his only real option. I don't think that this is really enough, though, to kill. Like, if he gets some other troops that eat some of the Mind Blasts, I think we should be okay. But looking to our own borders, so we finished this fortress. This one's going to finish up next turn, but we lost this one, which sucks. Sucks. We are going to have no choice. We got 30 Shard Guard coming behind. There's 20 Shard Guard here with statues. We've got some Agarthan heavy infantries. We're going to go ahead and send Scasius this way to meet up with this army, because I don't want him to take it by himself. He should meet up here, and then these guys can come back down. Maybe take either go this way or take this. Excuse me. Take this on the way back. Meanwhile, we are going to start recruiting gladiators. So I think I'm going to go for gladiators and not Retarii. And the reason for that is that the Agarthans don't have huge defense, but they do have those little bucklers. And so this flail gets +2 attack versus shields and attacks twice. So I think my understanding is that these should do better against those Agarthan units than the Retarii will. Now we're not going to do it quite like this though, because we're going to save resources. We're also going to put together a whole horde of slingers. Let's go ahead and we're going to look at all of our forts and see what we can produce. We're going to send those slingers along with other conventional forces south against the Cetician armies, because they're going to deal a ton of damage. So again, we're going to go mostly Retarius, but we're going to try and balance out a little bit of use up a little bit of resources to get a big pile of these slingers to help us out against Cetis. Same story here. Now this is a little far away, right? It's going to take a long time to get into the fight, but I still think we're going to try and get a decent number going. So this is a lot of Retarii, some slingers. This is mostly slingers, not as many Retarii. This is a lot of Retarii and a lot of slingers. I think that we're going to be able to, especially given the troops we already have, reinforce with these, and we'll be able to take, I think, so Gartha's going to go up to 60 guys, which is going to be a lot. But we've got multiple turns, I think. I don't think we're going to be able to defend this stuff. We're just too far away. I think we're going to recruit here, and then next turn, this will move, we'll recruit again. I mean, we'll probably keep recruiting all over, but we will assemble a force of tons of Long Dead and Retarii, and then another force of our conventional troops plus slingers to go down here. You know, we'll see how this goes. I don't know that Yis has as an underwater nation, I don't think he has any real ranged options, so this is sort of just gonna maraud around a bit. I'm not sure what this event is. A demon has been possessing them. Okay. Maybe a demon will like jump out and attack Cetis or something. It'd be hilarious. In another game where I was killed, I left a horror cult for people. So, you You got to take your wins where you can get them. This guy's going to retreat. The other thing we'll probably look to do against the Shard Guard is if they get, depending on where they sort of get, we can take 2 of our thaumaturgs as communion slaves, and then the others as communion masters. That'll buff them up to priest 3, and they can do apostasy. And we can potentially steal. Let's check the MR on these guys. Maybe that I haven't checked it yet, so this may just not be a workable plan. 14 is not that high. We'll check what apostasy is exactly. We could also look to steal like their golem crafters and get some of their paths. These are not sacred. Hard to know what else is in this group. But we're definitely not holding on. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to cede some territory here. Now, luckily, we do have a decent amount of stuff going on elsewhere, so we're not. Let's get a scout moving. We're not immediately losing all the territory and all the income we have access to, but it's not ideal. Let's see. Let's finish next turn. Let's make sure we're recruiting. Yep, 2. Let's put everybody on repeat recruitment just in case. In case I forget. Let's animate some Long Dead. I think we're also, let's check our research. So we can realistically get Conjuration 2 before they show up for sure. But it looks like it's going to be hard to get any more 2s besides that. We've got our Thaum 1 we need for the communions. We could try and get Alt 2. But we're not, I don't think we're going to make Conjuration 3. Very likely. Let's take a look at what we can get from Alt 2. Given that we have Cheat Fate is basically it. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. This is going to give us Summon Shades. These are fairly useful, I think. Ethereal. They might. They have magic weapons. Those shades are not going to be good. I take it back. Yeah, I'm not going to get a lot out of Conjuration 2 here either, unfortunately. Conjuration 3 is sort of obviously the target. Construction 2, we're not going to have time. Evo 1 and 2. Their critters, I think, might be magic. Just these guys are indeed magic, but these shouldn't be. No. So, not going to be a truly effective answer there. I don't think with the, I was just looking at, where did it go? Arcane Bolt, I think. Yeah, deadly for magic beings. Starfire sucks. And then there's nothing here. Solar Rays is not going to do it either. Only against undead. Okay. Thaum 2 would give us Mind Burn, which could be good. But let's go ahead and take a look at Apostasy and see what we think it might be able to do. Let's see. So it is MR negates easily, which I believe, which I'm just going to go ahead and pause and check what that number is. So it is our attack against them will be 11. We have no pen bonus. Our additional skill in the path is 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, rounded up is 2, so it's a 13. We get a DRN, and then it goes -4 because it's easy to resist. So that's a 9 plus DRN. Against, they are going to have their MR plus a DRN, which I think we earlier said was 14. So that's not great odds. That's not great odds at all. Yeah, 14 plus DRN. So 9 plus DRN versus 14 plus DRN. We do win ties. So 5s and 6s against their 1s and 2s, respectively. So basically on like a third of ours, we hit about, it's not exactly the math, but so it's like 1 out of every 9, I think a little bit worse than that. somewhere. It's not great, but we can throw a lot of chaff in the way, and the Retarii will do most of the work, so we don't need that to be our only thing that happens. It may or may not even be worth it, though. We may just sit researching. Is currently sort of what I'm thinking. So we also need to be aware of how many troops our guys can hold, because we can hold lots of undead on some of our guys, but not a lot of the regular troops, and we're going to need to make a bunch of Retarii. So we're going to need some commanders. He's going to go pick up them. This guy will finish the fortress. So we'll have enough troops to pick these guys up, and then they'll combine here. And then this guy has 100 leadership, so he should be good. So we should be okay from a leadership perspective to pick up everybody and move them along. We've also got this guy who can pick up more troops. Keep reanimating the dead. It's our last scout. Let's get him moving. Let's get you animating. Let's see who else hasn't moved. We got scouts. So Agartha did message us that apparently they had already made a peace agreement with. Okay, this only got. They'd already made a nap with Rillier and Nazca, and so then they agreed to join them in fighting us. Now, we of course have made an agreement to fight Nazca and Rillier with Pythium and Jotunheim, but Pangea and Vanheim, we believe, are currently going to go and attack Pythium. And so if that's happening, then Pythium certainly can't attack. And it seems hard to believe that Jotunheim, Jotunheim would probably have to go to the defense of his ally rather than defending us. From a game standpoint, I kind of get it from some of these players. So to me, it really seems like Pangea needs to go to war with Marignon. And if they're doing that, right, then that leaves Vanheim sort of alone against Pythium. So I don't, maybe that works for them, maybe it doesn't. And Jotunheim obviously doesn't have a lot of borders. I don't know if they can move through here at all. That leaves, if that sort of happens, who knows how much Jotunheim can sort of, where they'll get involved. On a larger sense, right, we could be willing to back them up if they can take pressure off of us, but it's a lot of planning for a Dominions game. I don't really think that's going to happen. Caleb needs to be able to be prepared to help Marignon. And then obviously Nazca and Rillier want to. Rillier is huge, so that's what I don't get about Agartha's and Satis's play here, right? I mean, Rillier has tons of territory that Satis probably wants over here. Rillier is, I believe, the largest player. And they're also a water nation, right? You're not like getting rid of the water menace, right? You're just making your water menace relay. This looks bad. That's a lot of Illithid that are probably going here. And then maybe moving up. I don't love that. I don't love that at all. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think we need to get our priests, these priests, moving here. And they're going to start animating ghouls so that they can absorb shots. It could also be they're planning on going like this. But obviously I need to protect Yes just as much. So I think we're going to do that. Well, a little bit fewer undead for this party, but we already have 60. I was debating, let's see, I don't think that there's unfortunately any, we can only do really minor stuff from a casting perspective. It is possible that we want a Mound King as well, and we could start making, we could make excuse me, We can make 50 long dead this turn. With all of our mages, or 60 or whatever, right? Because it's... And... But I don't think we need to quite do that just yet. You know, we are reanimating dead here, and neither of these guys can carry them, so what I actually should do is put all of these back. And then this guy can go and move here, and then next turn he can pick up the dead and move here. We will need a Mound King to fight underwater, though, so we definitely need at least one. But if we get pressured, obviously we'll throw all of our Death Gems into Long Dead, but for now, I don't think that's where we're at. 122 gold. I wonder, like, how much do these guys cost? 220. That's kind of a lot. I was going to say there's some question as to whether or not we can sort of keep expanding while we're fighting this war, right? It'd probably be mercenary led mostly. Just, you know, you don't, I think that this is something that I certainly have done a lot of in the past and I'm trying to do better with, is you don't want to over commit all of your attention to the war in a way that it prevents you from taking opportunities elsewhere. You know, right? This is an easy province to take. This is an easy province to take. Now, our main forces have other work to do, but I think, you know, there's probably some question as to whether or not we could get this. I think there's also potentially opportunities to pick up more archers in places where we have commanders. We could leave this guy here, because him coming here this turn doesn't actually do anything. And just, like, recruit extra archers. Help us spend some of our money. It's not, like, great or anything, but, you know, the archers are going to be just as good as the slingers against this Satist stack. So, we want to spend our money. But I'm only going to put it in places where I'm going to have a commander next turn. That it still makes sense to have one. I'm not just going to, like, recruit here, and I don't have time to send someone to go and pick them up, basically. Okay, this guy's going to stay here. I think that makes sense. Put one PD in so we can see what hits, but no reason to do anything else. PD there too. This one, I guess, can have a little bit more. Just, they may not be able to immediately move here, and I don't want to lose it to something random. So, I think this is where we're going to land. We're gonna get our Retarii, we're gonna get our archers for Satis, and then we're gonna go and try and take the fight. Try to show them that the Romans can be very prickly to large salamander creatures. I think that's gonna be our best bet. So overall, though, right, from a Celeria perspective, it's turn 13. We've only got 3 forts. Because one of them just got sniped, and we had, you know, our expansion sort of whatever. So I would say we're behind. Unfortunately, we're definitely behind the chains. But if we can take this, we can fight Agartha off and then extract like some war concessions, even if we can't necessarily outright kill them. You know, maybe then we get a little bit of time to go and grab the rest of this stuff. I think there's opportunities to still come back. We're absolutely by no means dead. I think Yis could be in some trouble. Now I think I'm Yis, even though I'm Yis's ally, I can't actually see their Morbarks. So I don't know how many they have, or what positions they're in really, in terms of being able to oppose this stack. But I said that he needed to start recruiting some indies ASAP as my last bait. But I think for us, that's it for this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next one, where hopefully, well, I guess we're not really fighting next time. We're just going to take some more losses, but after that, hopefully we can take a big fight. Have a nice day.